Natalie, you get off to a quicker start in this game than you did in preseason, but kind of slow down there a little bit. And the turnovers end up being costly, give up 25 points on turnovers. What do you kind of come out of this game identifying as the key points to improve on?
Taking care of the ball. You just said it. We actually had 22 turnovers. So giving up that many possessions, it was plus really 11 extra possessions. It's very hard to, win a game that way. And then they got plus 8 free throws, so that's free extra points to set the line with no defense. That's tough.
Hey, Natalie. Julie just spoke about your coaching style and your constant positivity. How do you balance the positivity and the energy while also imploring the team to develop good habits like taking care of the ball?
Yeah, I have to give them a little bit of grace, right, with the type of environment that we had. Would I take that every single time, every game? Yes, 100%. I want a sold-out crowd. But a lot of them is the first time to start and, the first time to have heavy minutes, first time I'm drawing ATOs for them and getting used to what direction they want, the timing and everything. So I'm good with, the turnovers because I know intentionally they're not trying to turn the ball over. You know what I mean? No one's trying to throw it to LA. So we'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. But I know there's a lot of room for improvement. Yeah. And I can't go again. Their effort was there. And I'm never going to, get upset with that.
Natalie, can you talk a little bit more about the environment, maybe from beginning to end, just how it felt?
Loud? Loud. That's exactly what I wanted. If I could have dreamed of an environment, the hostility of it, the roars, the screams, the shouts. Even when, Julie hit a couple of those threes coming back, that crowd, like I said, they're going to support us regardless. So, yeah, to have that type of crowd, it's surreal,
Hey, Natalie, as you're searching for, the right combinations to put out there, can you talk about some groups that impressed you or worked tonight?
Yeah. It was kind of, we started out small. And then we decided to go double big just to give them a different look, mix in some zone. Actually didn't even practice zone that much, so that's why that was a positive that we took away is we barely worked on zone, and it actually was our best defense. So it's still early. It's game one. So I actually like sometimes just to see a group when that ball is moving. Then that's usually the group that I like to stick with. Yeah.
Natalie, over here. Doc Rivers was here tonight. I think maybe
I
as
saw
a
him.
surprise to you. Was that a surprise? And did you get a chance to talk to him?
No, but I thought I can't see very well. But when I saw diagonal of me, I'm like body language, the way he was sitting. I was very surprised and obviously a little choked up. That's one of my mentors. So for him to come out here, I know he doesn't live out here. So for him to fly out here. To support me, that warmed my heart for sure. Yeah.
Natalie, I just wanted to touch on that. Yeah. Julie, 9-point stretch there. She told me after the game that she went up to Steve Kerr and said that if Steph gets hurt, she's ready. What was it like for you from your perspective during that run?
Yeah, yeah. If she wants to, I don't want her to switch teams, but a good run for his money, I would love it. Maybe a shootout between those two. You guys saw Julie. I love using the word fearless, but she's fearless. She just, was able to. We got stops, and our stops just led to Julie just pulling up, and she loves to shoot, whether it's deep or just in a tight space. She can make those threes. And, there was a moment where I'm like, hey, can we run that back? And she's over there talking to somebody or whatever. But, hey, man, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get passion. The fans are going to get firsthand type of action. And so, I want her to be herself. Yeah.
Natalie, down here. Tiffany was just in here talking about how late in the game the offense got a little stagnant, and it seems at times you over-dribbled, and it seems at times you picked it up a little too early. And I'm just wondering, how do you continue to build that chemistry and making sure you guys are playing with the right pace while also trying to find those right looks as we go late into games when you're in crunch time and it's a 6-point, 8-point game and you need to hit those big baskets to start a comeback?
Yeah, just more reps of practicing. I think it was really our 0.5 decisions. A lot of it was. So when we're moving the ball, kind of got a little stuck. I'd rather have them either just catch and shoot or just catch and rip. So those are some things that we'll definitely work on, is making quicker decisions. But again, as someone mentioned, the new different lineups today, that was the first for a couple of them. Yeah.
Natalie, Tammy came into this game. I think she only made 3 career three-pointers. She hits 2 in the first half. What did you think about the way she could stretch the floor?
Just all her hard work that she's been doing. Temmie stays all the time. She does her routine, she does her touches, and she does her mid-range, and then she shoots all those threes that she knows she's going to get, because a lot of the fives will definitely, pull in. They're just not used to guarding a 5 that's out and stretched on the floor. So just credit to her hard work. Yeah.
Hey, Natalie, Alex Hyman, SFK. You usually have been on the happy side when Kelsey has a night like that. What was it like kind of going against her in this game and watching what she was doing in her new situation as well?
Yeah, that was the Kelsey that I'm used to, She was able to get downhill to her left. That was something, we talked about. But again, for me, it's always team defense. So our shifts had to be there a little bit earlier to get off of the ball. That was the game plan, but she did a great job. I mean, she's, again, using the same word, she's fearless. Like, she wants to get into the paint. If not, she wants to and one. If not, she's doing, playing off 2 feet, or she's getting to a step back 3. So that's the Kelsey that, I know.
Hey, Coach. I asked Julie about the turnovers, and she said she didn't want to make excuses, but thinks part of that is because you guys are a newer group. I'm sure you also don't want to make excuses, but how hard is that to just kind of balance the fundamentals of the game, but also just you are a new group?
Yeah, I mean, it's game 1, and I think I told him we've been together for 2.5 weeks, which a friend of mine who works for the NBA, he's like, the NBA usually gets a month. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That is, it is a short amount of time, but again, that's fine. We're not making excuses, but we want to make sure too, like you talked about, like, we got to find our pace. We got to make sure everything in space works. I think we were excited, I guess, out there. I think we were trying to really get downhill a little bit quickly, which I think caused a little bit of congestion. So I think it's slowing down and just reading, making the right reads. Yeah.
You mentioned you hadn't worked on the zone defense too much and broke it out tonight. When you're a team that hasn't had that much time, like you said, to build that chemistry and everything, why did you want to go to a new kind of system for them? And is it easier or is it harder to teach them more new things when they're already in the middle of learning a bunch of new systems?
Yeah, defensively, you always want to keep teams off rhythm. So I knew we didn't break out zone in the preseason game. So I just wanted to try it and see how it worked, and it worked.
Last question. Hey, Natalie, just following up on Doc, what would you say is the biggest thing that you learned working under him? And if just curious about the NBA, WNBA coaching tree and how that has influenced you.
Oh, yeah. I learned a lot of things from Doc. Doc's big on ATOs, so I learned a lot of making sure you figure out the strengths of your players, what direction they like to shoot off of, the timing of ATOs, and so that's something definitely I have to improve on. I take onus of that, especially learning from a master of ATOs. For me, he believed in me. He kind of said it without really realizing he said it. He just pulled me aside one time, and he's just like, hey, Nat, he's like, when you get your squad, you become a head coach. He's like, you should do this defense. I can't tell you what the defense was, but I was just like, did he just tell me I'm going to be a head coach? I think this is my 3rd year with him, and he didn't understand, but that statement right there, my confidence just skyrocketed, So yeah, just believe it in me. And then he always told me to, don't coach like me. He goes, just be you. He goes, players smell the BS. And he goes, and if they smell the BS, you lose that trust automatically. So he just said, always be yourself, and everything will work out. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.